Welcome to the narrowboat that James built. Hope you're well. Thanks for joining me. Well, as you can see, I'm underneath the boat. I'm kind of underneath the fireplace kind of area at the moment, and there's quite a few pits around here as well. And while I try to work out how to put this thing together, this visor, let's remind ourselves of the encouraging words that Paul gave yesterday. Oh my god.
It's as big as that screwdriver. Look.
Fuck.
We should have got underneath it and put a screwdriver in it. Yeah, but I mean this whole area here.
Yeah, it's all a bit
fantastic. I mean, you've got some pits over here just that look pretty bloody deep, really. But like, what do you do?
Yeah, there's pits here as well.
Yeah, so that's a pit that's gone through, that is. And I suppose it's smashed about a little bit as well, and that's the first bit to touch bottom.
Yeah.
But then if you look along here, it's going the same way. You know, it's pitting badly. How thick was
3.6.
3.6.
4 to begin with though.
4 to begin with. See, there's, I don't know, there's a good mil or so in that pit there just without even cleaning it. Yes, mate.
Okay, so we need to redo the bathroom floor.
Well, I mean, but you ain't got the dough to get a couple of bits of plate with a little bend in them, and just because I mean you've got to see this new trine where you've had this overplating. Yeah. Same that side, just a great place to re-weld to. Yeah. You know.
How much are we talking?
Oh, I don't know that. This is going to be a Richie job welding upside down under here, and as well, it's like. Don't sound great in places. I mean, it might be worth. I know it'd be a shitty job, but get an angle grinder with a wire head on it and try and get under and have a bit of a clean up and see if you can possibly spot anywhere else that looks like it's a weak spot. So if it's done that there, there's surely probably going to be somewhere else. So it wouldn't even be worth going down with a strip. It'd be nice if you're going to do that. You might as well go out to the
the
full to the side.
You know what though? It's all right under here, isn't it? It's not as bad as I thought.
Yeah,
it's quite even and stuff.
Yeah, I'd be having a look, see where it looks a little bit rough. Yeah, like 6 foot away there. Yeah, where that little stalactite bit that's not hanging down. Just before that looks a little bit scabby.
It does look a bit scabby down there.
My dryer's a second, mate. My dryer's just a little clean up here. Oh, looks a bit worse now.
Shooting out.
I mean, see what I've done there though. If you was to go, it is a crappy job, but if you was to try and get to even a panel down the middle there, just so you can look at how much more you can see now. It was just that a minute ago, wasn't it? Yeah. Yes. You've got water coming back out of it now. You're going the other way now, mate. You're filling the canal back up.
Where's the water coming out?
It's coming out there. It's obviously wet behind it, isn't it? Yeah. But you know what I mean? This steel is like not great to weld onto. I'd definitely be giving her a good clean up like this. A couple of hours on your back. You've seen it took me about 10 seconds to do that little patch there, just so you can get an eyeball. And then afterwards get a roll of a bit black. Just fucking whiz up underneath it. Isn't it? I crawled underneath my one last time it was out. Cleaned it up and blacked the bottom of it.
Well, I don't mind blacking the bottom of it.
Yeah.
It's a case of, we just got to get this bloody thick coals fixed first and get all that done.
Yeah, I'd be giving her a clean up. I'd make that emission tonight. Grinder, wire wheel, pair of goggles everybody. And try and give her a clean up and see if you can see any patches that look like they might need a bit more attention, do you know what I mean? Because there might be some, while it's out, it's worth having a look. At least check down this centre bit from there to there.
Yeah.
Like give that a scrub up and have a clean and see what you think. You might see something, you go, oh, it looks all right, it looks a bit dodgy, perhaps we just, while it's out, just throw another patch on that bit, like, you know?
Yeah, okay, mate.
But it's like, how thick is this to weld on? You know, it could be a little bit of a struggle. But Richie's good.
Sounds alright up here compared to...
Bum, 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 bum.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, let's see what Richie says when he gets back from his canoeing trip.
Yeah. I mean, he'll certainly be able to weld a patch on it. More concerned, I mean, you know where that one is now, I'd be more concerned with anything else that's a potential hazard in the near future.
Well, it's quite clear where the hole is, but now it's starting to dry out. You can see quite a lot of pretty bad pits. There's one there, one here, one there. So it's much like that old boy said, there's problems with Springer bathrooms. So I've started scraping back some now. And it's going to be a case of where the best steel is to affix onto. But really want to get this cleaned up as much as I can. I'm pretty sure in terms of narrowboating experiences, angle grinding the underneath of a narrowboat is probably the worst experience of them all. See why no one wants to weld underneath this thing. Just scraping it down is hard work. So I've scraped down most of the hull, kind of down towards the, just past the fireplace basically. So this is the troublesome part of the boat, and the idea is why I'm scraping this back is so we can see what the pits are like. And see what needs to be kind of repaired. I've got to say though, pits at the front are a damn sight worse than the pits here. Well, that was been, oh my god, I'm filthy. Hang on one sec. Oh my god, that is the colour of the water just from my face. Oh right, that's a bit better. John has kindly offered me the use of his shower in his Winnebago, and hopefully not in like a carry-on camping kind of way. Hopefully it's all kind of above board. So that'd be nice, because it is bloody filthy. I got caked in that stuff under there, and I was wearing one of these kind of visor things. So yeah, it was pretty horrible work underneath there. I can understand why welders don't really want to do that job. Well, it's definitely not all doom and gloom. The hull is a mix of bad bits and kind of really bad bits. So there's a lot of pits. That's the main issue, and those pits have developed into holes. And you know, if the water levels were to drop and the boat was to rest on a stone, and that stone was to pierce a hole through one of those pits, then the same things, I've got the same problem. And there's a couple hundred of those pits. There seems to be more at the front than there does towards the back. So I guess, I don't know why. Maybe because, I don't know why. And so they need to all be kind of filled and properly excavated before they're filled. So that's a bit of a job. And then there's the overplating to be done. I think it's going to have to be overplated as opposed to cut out. And Big was suggesting maybe either do it in small sections just to get it done and get it in the water, or what John wants to do is put like a larger sheet in and get W&W, the steel fabricators up the road, to put the angle in it, and use some jacks to basically force it up to the boat and then weld along the seams. That's going to be an approach. And then if we did that out of quite thin metal, then we could overplate in the kind of the main bit of the V with another kind of bit of 4 or something like that. So there's a few things to consider. I'm going to speak to my surveyor about, well, what his advice is given the what we've discovered. I don't think there's any recourse or anything like that. Surveyors are what they are. Marine surveyors, I'm going to say, because obviously we're surveyors. You know, they say they only inspect the actual bits of steel they inspect. They don't by any means give the whole boat any kind of seaworthiness, credibility. So it is what it is, really. I mean, you only do it to satisfy the insurers. There's no other real need to have it. If you've got an ultrasound thing or a hammer, you can do it yourself. But anyway, it is what it is. So I'm going to speak to Ian and see what he thinks would be something to do. But you know, as I said, Big came over earlier, and he knows a lot about these hulls. He's done a lot of work underneath boats, and he's underneath mine earlier, so he does know his stuff. So thank you so much, Big, for coming, for walking up here and having a look at it and giving me your 2 penneth worth. It was definitely yes, it's just the more opinions the better, really, to be honest. It's pretty clear what the issue is. It's just a case of how best to fix it. Anyway, so it's on the trolley now, and there is I guess the good news for me is that it can't go back in the water. If it goes in the water, it'll sink, and it will sink quicker than I'll be able to bilge it out. So it has to stay on the trolley, and there's a bit of a window now here at the yard for where the trolley's a bit free, but it's not going to be forever. So this needs to be done now, which is good, because you know, sometimes you need your priority to be their priority. So this is quite useful. So I think they're getting their thinking caps on here, and any comments from welders or engineers about solutions to this, then that would be great. Anyone who's got any welding kit wants to come down and fill in some pits, be my guest. Right, well, it's been about 24 hours since I recorded that bit on the front of the wharf there in the sun after cleaning down the boat, and I guess we've had a bit of time I've had a bit of time to reflect on everything, and we've had a bit of time to look at the boat and speak to people, and I guess, you know, the comments on the last video were universally in favour of carrying on. It is the only way, so thank you. I needed the encouragement. I'm the eternal optimist, as is John, so we're saying of course it can be done. We just need to throw some money at it, throw some steel at it, and have a damn good welder do all of that. And I guess the consensus of opinion on the channel yesterday was the same. So that's what we're going to do. And the other thing which was pretty apparent on the video yesterday under the comments is that the only way of really getting this bit done is by crowdfunding. So once again, I'm asking you guys for your help, and I guess I'm reluctantly doing this because I didn't want to be in this position. I didn't want the boat to have a hole in the bottom. I didn't, you know, we were meant to be cruising down to London at this point, but alas, this is the situation. But cruise to London she will, but as I said, I do need your help. And you know, loads of people said, you know, if 6,000 people give a quid each, blah blah. Look, I don't know how this works. It's all a bit new to me, as is YouTube. But where there's a will, there's a way. And you know, the guys here are amazing. So to put your minds at rest, the money is going to be well spent. There is, firstly, the welder is a marine expert. And his name's Richard. He lives here on site. He's the guy that John gets to do all of their hire boats, and any of the crucial sophisticated welding that John needs to get done, they give to Richard. So he's got the right kit, but most importantly he's got the right expertise, and because he's on site, this is going to be a lot of hours under that boat, and because he's on site will make it a more likely situation to get resolved in a sensible time frame without costing thousands and thousands and thousands of extra. So you know, that's a good place to be. The steel, we've got a lot of steel at the wharf already, but W&W, who are steel fabricators in Market Harbour, they're the guys for the job. They can come out and see what needs to be done. They can profile the steel and fabricate what we need. So that's that. And there's just loads of experience here on the wharf. And so John, Jez and Paul, there is a they know what they're doing, and there is a few solutions still to be looking at. And obviously there's loads of people on the channel that know their stuff, like Big and Simon, and there's loads. So you know, the advice will be plentiful, I'm hoping, but yeah, the money also fairly needs to be plentiful. So yeah, that's why Just Giving page, crowdfunding has been set up, and really it needs to kind of get started ASAP. The boat's on the trolley. John needs the trolley back in maybe a week's time, something like that, and we need to obviously clean the bottom of the boat. Then we need to do all the welds, fill in all the holes, any pits that need to be done, we need to do that. and then it needs to be blacked before it goes back in. So there's still, you know, there's obviously a vast amount of work that needs to be done on it. But first things first, we need to get to a point where we can even contemplate doing the work. So I will leave the details of the crowdfunding page on the video, and obviously on the description, and anything you can do to help Sloe Patrol will save her and ultimately get us on our journey down to London, and I said, let the journey continue. Thank you.